Okay. Greetings, y'all. So this is going to be. I had to rush. Wait a minute. Let me skip all the formal intros. What's up, fairies? What's up? Skip all that intro real quick. I just got off from work, y'all. Like literally, I only had like 5 minutes to get ready. So I'm like, let me hurry up. Let me hurry up and get on here, y'all. Because I don't like keeping people late. I don't like being on CP time. I like being on time. Okay. I like being on time. So I am on time. Okay. I'm on CP time, on time. But no, I'm not on time. So that is my bad. I'm 8 minutes late. So I hope you guys have y'all got your snacks and stuff ready, got your notes ready, because I am going to share some important key things during this reading, this collective reading that we're going to do tonight. And also the spell, our fairy protection spell. So we're going to be talking about spiritual warfare and spiritual protection and all of that from a perspective of empowerment and encouragement, okay? And diligence and vigilance. So, um, I am going to do the fairy reads first. So the fairy reads is I just need the first five fairies to leave a fairy emoji in the chat so that y'all can get your one card free pull reading, and then we'll get into the collective reading, and then followed after the collective reading will be the protection spell. Okay, personalized by me. While you guys are doing that, there is one thing that I forgot to grab right quick because we're gonna need that. We're gonna need that. Okay, so let me go grab that right quick, which shouldn't take me long. All I gotta do, I might see my booty. It's okay. Y'all might see my booty. I don't think I have everything I need. Yes, I do. Just kidding. I do. Hey. All right. All right. I got what I need. Okay. Real quick. I had to get my tools right quick. My spiritual torch. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's get into this live. We have how many fairies we got in the chat? We have one, two. We have two, three, right? No. Michelle Deandra, so two. I need three. I know it's late. This is the thing. Where I'm at, it's 9:40. It's late. Some people it's 10. Some people I think it's 11 o'clock at night, almost 12 o'clock at night. So if y'all ain't at home doing nothing, where y'all at? Unless y'all out clubbing or something, or at a bar or something, or doing I don't know what you could be doing, or you just literally probably just sleep. Um, so I'm gonna hold on tight for a little bit. If not, I'm gonna settle for just two fairies tonight, if that's what it is. Because I know that you guys are usually used to me going live at 7 my time, 7 p.m. my time, Mountain Standard Time. But with my schedule change as of right now, most likely it's gonna be 9 for a little bit, for a few weeks. It's gonna be 9 o'clock. Same thing with happy hour until I know for sure what my schedule is looking like. After that, permanently, or I don't want to say permanent because my schedule can change whenever. So I just have to work around my schedule. I appreciate that, Deandra. Yes. Thank you for coming through for your girl. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm not gonna say for sure like, oh, it's always gonna be this because life happens. Things change, things shift, and I try to work around my schedule reasonably. So I'm like, okay, I know I get out at 9 o'clock. Let me try to, give myself some wiggle rooms. Let me do 9:30 where it's not too late. Like, 10 o'clock is kind of stretching it a little bit. But yeah. So and Friday night, most people like if you like around a certain age, like me, like I'm still young, but like when you get to a certain age, like you don't want to be going out all the time. Like, you want to be at home, relaxing, relaxed at the fact that I don't know if you guys work like Monday through Friday or like you have Fridays off, but like for me, like when Friday come, I want to chill. I want to relax. I'm not trying to go out unless it's something eventful happening, like a concert I want to go to, or somebody's birthday, or something happening, or a comedy show or some shit like that. I'm not leaving my house. I'm not doing that. I'm going home or I'm staying at home, in my comfy, cozy room. That's what we're going to do. I'm not one of them clubbing heifers. I got that out like in my like late teens, early 20s. Like I got that little party shit out the way a long time ago. So clubbing and stuff like that, that's not my scene. Just a good bite to eat and something to drink or a concert, like I said, a comedy show, somebody's like, it's got to be something. Like I'm not doing all that. And on top of that, like some of these places, like women usually they don't charge much for women to get into places. Sometimes it's free sometimes for women to get into spaces, but like if you go into Vegas and stuff like that, I'm not paying an arm and a leg to go in no club just because you said so and so in there. Like I'm not doing that. Like it's not that serious, you know, unless it's reasonable and something like that. But anyway, but how was y'all week? There's 5 of you on here, so I need 5 fairies. Actually, I need 3 more fairies. 3 more fairies to come through. Hey, Janae, long time no speak. Happy New Year. Happy calendar New Year to you, sis. So there's my 3rd fairy. I need 2 more fairies. So I'm going to just start working on the fairies. We're going to get y'all readings out the way while we're on here. So Michelle, DeAndre, and Janae, leave your one question or one topic for me. And then we'll go ahead and tap in. Hey, sis. How are you? Dolores, how are you? So, could you be fairy number 4? Could you be fairy number 4? Possibly. Yeah, leave your one question or your one topic. Deandra, Michelle, Janaea. So, technically, I need 2 more fairies. A general card pull for you. Okay, general for Deandra. Janaea, what's the general theme for this year? You don't have a fairy Oh, that's okay. I'll count you in. If you can't find it, it's okay. It's usually with like all the, weird characters. Like it's a superhero one, it's mermaids, it's magicians, or I don't know what the fuck them things is. Excuse my language, y'all. Hey, greetings. Um, okay, so I'm gonna just put a little sprinkle. So Shan, um, and Dolores. So those are my 5 fairies. So Michelle, Deandra, Janaea, Dolores, and Chan. Yeah. Aw, I know. Y'all gotta be quick on your feet. Gotta be quick on your feet, y'all. You got to be. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this because I have my fairies. I don't want to mislead anybody. So let's remove this message because I got my 5 fairies already. Okay, so let's get started. And then we'll get into the collective read. So if y'all here for the collective read, we'll do that. Okay. I'm gonna use this flower child deck, and I'm gonna use a different deck for the like overall collective reading. So Miss, who was the first one? Deandra. Hey Ro, how are you? Yes, happy Friday, Shan. What's up? Okay. General for Deandra. Let me put timestamps just in case y'all want to come back. I'm gonna just put like for the overall collective. Hold on. I like to be okay. So fairy read start at okay. Deandra, general reading for you. General question, general topic. If you type fairy in your your emoji search bar, it should pop right up. It should pop right up. It's close to midnight. I know. Let's see. DeAndre. General. General message. The moon. Okay. We do have an upcoming moon. You got the 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck and the Death card at the top of the deck. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. I'm getting like moon wishes, like literal moon energy, like a full moon, a new moon, something about manifestation and wishes. Um, in order for certain things that you've asked for or you found it. See, there you go. In order for you to have certain things that you've been asking for, it's like Spirit is saying certain things do have to end and close out. It's almost like you got to make room and make space for the things that you want. And it's not always going to be a comfortable energy. It may not feel like it's associated or connected to things that you pray for, that you ask for. It's kind of like, let's say you're asking for, I don't know why I'm hearing Mercedes, but I'm gonna just say a Mercedes Benz car. You want that, and it could be like a specific year or whatever the case may be. So you've been praying for this car, like, oh, I would love to have a Mercedes Benz year, blah 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 blah. And then you get into an accident with your current car that you've been complaining about. Oh, this car is stalled out. This car getting on my nerves, blah blah blah. And then you get into an accident, and let's say it gets totaled, nothing happens to you. You're unscarred, and nothing happens to you, right? Physically, you're good. But your car is fucked. And it's like there's no repairing this. I don't have the money for this, or it's totaled. I can't do anything with this car. And it might seem like a negative because it's like shit, I'm without a car. Let's say like you get enough money to where back on that car, like you get paid out for your car that you had, or whatever the case may be, and you have the funds or enough funds, or um almost just enough to get that car that you've always wanted, or you might have to pay out of pocket for some of it or whatever, but you get some sort of compensation for the old car or something like that, or you could sue somebody or your insurance company, whoever hit you or whatever the case may be, right? Could be, let's say it's like a corporation, like a business car or someone's truck or whatever, a semi truck that hit you, right? And again, nothing bad happens to you, but your car is fucked up. You get to get the money back from that company, the insurance and all of that. And it's like, oh shit, I can get me a new car. And what do you know? I can get my Mercedes Benz. It's like something that it seems like this is a messed up situation. And sometimes it might not even be connected. Like, I want a car, and then the current car that you have gets totaled or whatever. It might not be that connected. It could be like it's something that happens to you that feels like it has nothing to do with what you prayed for or been asking for. Kind of given that. So I don't know why I use that scenario. I don't want that to happen to you at all. But because I said the Mercedes thing, I'm like, okay, But like just as an example, sometimes like to make space for the things that you've been praying for and been asking, and it could literally be something that was done on a moon cycle, or like you specifically set intentions on a moon or what have you. And I don't feel like it's just one specific prayer or wish or something that you've been trying to manifest into your reality, but whatever these ultimate desires is, and even I'm getting another message too. It also doesn't even have to be physical. Some of these things is like you've been praying for peace, or you've been praying like internal things that you're seeking within yourself. And sometimes whatever's taking that peace away, Spirit might remove that thing or that person or that place or that environment, or remove you out of it. And it might be like, oh dang, that's fucked up. Like I, you know, I thought this person was my friend, and whole time, like when you think about it, oh, this person was taking away my peace. This person was not adding anything of positivity into my life, or this job. I got let go or whatever. It's a blessing in disguise for something better, or to allow you to be in a better space of peace, or connect, or to appreciate the peace that you have when you eliminate or when you're removed out of things that take that away from you. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense with that, because that took forever just to get that one thing out. Sometimes I'll be like, readings could be so much more simpler with me if I just get straight to the point, but I don't know. Okay. All right. Are you saying it makes sense? You're welcome, sis. By the way, are you saying, Shan, don't use YouTube emojis, or you're saying don't use white emojis, like white fairies? I don't know what you mean by that. Y'all free to use whatever color fairy y'all want. By the way, I don't know if that's what you're saying, but like, no, it doesn't have to be exactly like the one I use. Like, y'all can use your own. That was good. Okay, appreciate it. No tea. Oh, to find the fairy. Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, are you saying I didn't know what you was talking about, child? Okay, let's see. Um Michelle, I skip Janaea. Yeah. Okay, so Janaea said, what is the general theme for me in for this year? And then where are you at? I just seen it. Michelle. Okay. All right, so yes, I appreciate y'all helping each other. I'm like, as she saying, don't use the white fairies. Like, y'all can use whatever fairy y'all resonate with. They have male fairies, they have female fairies. Y'all can use whatever. Just a fairy emoji, just to say, hey, I'm here. Okay, so what is the general theme? What is the general theme? What is the general vibe for Janae's 2025? What's the general? Because I was about to say, that's kind of funny. Like, don't use the white one. Like, why? Use whatever y'all want. Good evening. Bueno. Hello. So you have Seven of Cups, Janaea, bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands, and the Chariot card. I don't know what's been up with me lately, but I keep like wanting to sing the Reading Rainbow theme. Some of y'all might be old enough to know what Reading Rainbow is. Some of you may be too young to know what Reading Rainbow is, but I hope that majority of you know what Reading Rainbow is, because that was the shit. That intro, you know, I like that intro. For some reason, I thought it was Roberta Flack. I think I Googled it who what singer was. I don't remember. But it sounds like Roberta Flack, but I don't think it was ever Roberta Flack. Unless it was like some older seasons. I don't know. I think it's the same woman. Anyway, I feel like with the Seven of Cups energy is like the overall theme for you. This has something to do with like your visions and your goals. I feel like the things that you are like actively already creating or have planned, and some of these things, it's like, don't discard them because they seem unrealistic, but also have a practical plan behind the things that you're desiring. It's kind of like you're going to have to use your active imagination or creativity to think outside of the box, or it's like something needs that inner child like essence in it. So like if it's too like practical or trying to like stay in a lane, how do I explain this? If it's like trying to fit into, okay, this is what, if I'm, because this feels like creativity to me, like a creative energy. So like if it's something you're trying to create, or you have to use a creative mind, um in order to bring something to life, because again, this feels like very, I'm seeing like coloring books and shit like that, but I don't feel like that's literally what it is, but it's spirits giving like a metaphor. Like if I had a coloring book, the coloring book has no color, right? You add the color to the template. So it's like there's a template, there's something that, let's say I'm going to just use example YouTube, right? As a content creator, I know what type of content I want to create, maybe not specifically, right? So like a tarot channel. Okay, what type of tarot readings do I want to do? How do I want to? It's like you start adding the color in your template. And I feel like you got to step outside of the box, because it's easy to go, oh, well, everybody wants love readings, or everybody wants zodiac readings every month or every week, or daily reads or updates, or people want pick a cards, or I can only do this type of pick a card because this is what's popular, and you're comparing and stuff. No, think outside of like your inner child. Like, what is it that you feel guided to do? Yes, make it your own personal thing, your own energy, creatively, with that active like childlike energy, where you know how kids, this is what I used to do when I was little. Speaking of like white fairies. No. When I used to get like little princess books and stuff like that, brown girls, black girls, y'all know what I'm talking about. I had to color my Cinderella's brown. Okay. Back then, we didn't have all them colors. I had to mix some colors in to make her look like myself because I'm like, either she's too brown or she's going to be too white. And I can't do that. So I'm going to have to mix some color to make her a little bit caramel complected, a little bit, to make her match me, or a Barbie doll. The Barbie coloring books. I had to color the black Barbies. I had to do that. So it's kind of like you got to shape it around what resonates with you. And like a little kid, kids are smart enough to go, hey, this doesn't resonate with me, I'm gonna make it my own. And I was crazy as fuck. Some of the Disney princesses had pink hair and shit, and they didn't have no pink hair, but I made it that way because that's what I wanted. Or some purple hair, I put some eyeshadow on them. Like, you gotta, but in a more practical, more adult way. Like, this is metaphoric, obviously, but you add and you do, like, you take the template and you make it your own. Whatever this is, I don't know what this is for you, but yeah, foundation. Tell me about it. Like, there's even like that. Like, makeup is just now getting like advanced enough to match people's skin tone. Because back in the day, it'd be like, this don't match, that don't match. Like, we all ain't like, and I feel like it's insulting to like say that we only can have like three or like two or three shades. Like that don't work. It's a mess. But they're advanced now. They're advancing. Thank goodness we have companies that do notice that there's people in the world with different color complexions, and we're not all just super this or super that. It's like, come on now. And we got undertones of red. We got different, we got all this different stuff going on. Let's make it work. Let's make it happen. Okay. Let's make it work. Let's be diverse here. The universe, the world is diverse. It's not just this or it's just that. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, sis. Fenty Beauty, like Rihanna with Fenty Beauty, for her brand, by her own uniqueness. Yes, you gotta make it your own. Like, what do you bring to the table? Like, if it's cool. Like, I will never discard the fact that you pay attention to trends. Like, you honor trends and say, okay, this resonates. Because I feel like certain thanks to Fenty Beauty, I notice a lot of companies try to be more diverse with their presentation and their models and things like that. And in the beauty industry, like, they're trying to do that. And even the body types and shapes and sexual orientations and things like that. Sometimes you got to be a trailblazer too, you know, and also kind of fitting in the box a little bit, but making it your own shebang. So, yes. So, Michelle, you were up next. I hope that resonated with you, sis. Janaea, I hope that was helpful, fits into what you need. So Miss Michelle and who else? I don't want to skip y'all. Dolores and Chan. So Michelle, your question was, let me scroll back. I decided to strike up a lighthearted conversation with Nate last week. I feel like he was, wait, more in a standoffish, guarded energy this time. Why does he seem that way right now with me? First off, his name is Nate. That's a red flag. No, I'm just like, I'm just playing. Just play it. Oh no, just play it. No. Certain names you know, there's a lot of names I just be like, girl, don't talk to him just because I had a bad experience. Like, every guy, like, don't talk to him. I'm just like, no. Or because somebody else had a bad experience. Like, girl, them type, them type. Don't talk to them. I roll my eyes when some girl be like, yeah, I'm talking to a guy named so and so, and I'm just like, ugh, because it brings back flashbacks. No, I'm just kidding. No. Just making light humor. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. No. Cause I have a coworker named Nate and he cool. So I ain't gonna categorize everybody the same. That's not right. Okay, so What's up with him? Why is he guarded? What's up? What's up? What's up? Queen of Pentacles. That's interesting. The Moon, the Six of Swords. Your energy, it may not have anything to do with you actually. Your energy is very transparent. I feel like something within them, like their own emotional energy or where they're at with themselves in particular, like it might reflect off of you in some kind of way to where you might take it personal, but it's not anything really to do with you. Because when I tap into like why they're being guarded, your energy seems to be very nurturing and open, and it feels like this person is kind of like repelling it because their energy is not in a space of openness and receptivity. That's what it feels like more so. It's kind of like guarded um on an emotional level. Like their guardedness is like, I have nothing to pour into to you. You know, that's kind of what I'm getting. It's like you're wondering, okay, how do you feel? And this person's like, well, I can't really show up in any way. I like, it's not to say that they don't have feelings at all or feelings for you at all, but it is some sort of like emotional, um, kind of moody. Like their energy could be moody. They might be just not really in the space to give to you. And it's almost like they're avoiding connecting or avoiding opening up to you. The tricky thing with the moon too, like just think about the moon energy, that sometimes to me feels like very fickle but not permanent. Like when you think about a phase of the moon, it's not permanent. So if you think about a person that operates in moon energy, they might be moody. One minute their energy's like open and bright, one minute it's kind of reclusive, kind of wacky daggy, like, you know, it's, that's kind of what it's giving. It has nothing to do with you. And I feel like as the Queen of Pentacles, she's like open and receptive. She's nurturing, but she's in a receptive state too. So it's like if a person is also in this kind of passive energy, they can't show up or give anything because they're not open. So I don't feel like it's a personal thing. Um I'm not really getting like as to why this person might be in a moody state, but it doesn't feel like it's personally connected to you or because of you or something like that. Doesn't feel that way. Yeah. And then when I split the deck, the Two of Cups. So yeah, this has something to do with reciprocity. Like if I'm not in the good space or good mood, or you know, I'm not feeling it, or I got some other shit going on, like how can I contribute to you? Like, and it's almost a little avoidant. Like, you know, if somebody's like in a bitchy mood, they don't want to be around people that are chipper in a good mood and happy. It's almost like, you know, you feeling like you and your little pity party mood. You don't want to be around that sometimes, right? It's kind of like that, but more so from a place of if you're open to connecting and being, you know, available, this other person's like, well, I ain't ready to do that. I'm not in the space, or I don't want to do that. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this. But it doesn't feel like a permanence. You know, like I said, the moon has its phases. So yes, that's what I'm getting for you, sis. I hope that that made sense. Um, yeah. So Dolores and Chan. So, Dolores, God and your angels know your heart. You're welcome. My pleasure, sis. God and my angels know what's on my heart and what I need clarity of. So please, whatever comes out, love or general. Okay. Got you. Okay. And then Chan, you just want a general love reading. You just been talking to some guys, but you still have trust issues and around commitment. Okay. All right. Janae, I don't know if you said something. Like make my unique embody myself fully. Yes. Okay. Two cards came out. Um, I'm gonna make this like your top card, the Tower. Your bottom card is the Devil and the Ten of Cups. So a lot of transitions are going to take place whether you initiate them or they happen just in divine alignment, divine timing. Like they're going to happen regardless to get to ultimately this wish fulfillment that you want. I feel like in order to do this as well, it's like you get to sniff out like the counterfeits. It's something about counterfeit energy. When I look at this card, it's cute, but also at the same time, in some instances, it feels like a counterfeit energy too. You see how that girl's dancing with that rat? So when I think of rats, I don't think of clean energy. I think of dirtiness. I think of sneakiness, stuff like that. But like on a playful level, like mice is like, oh, it's cute. Oh, little rodents if he's clean. Oh, it's kind of cute, but I don't mess with rodents. But they could be kind of cute. Like, oh, I guess it's a cute little something, something. But like a rat to me just represents uncleanliness. So I feel like there's a discernment between something to entertain versus when it's a counterfeit energy. And this may not just be love. This could be like things that you may desire. It's like discerning. And there's a lot of transitions that are going to need to take place, like I said, in order for you to have that, what you desire, that ultimate wish fulfillment that you share with others or another person. And I feel like specifically with love, because also too, like when I think about the 10 of cups, I think about the journey to the 10 of cups, what it took to get here. It wasn't this always this light and fluffy journey. So when you finally reach that 10 of cups, it's like a kind of like, let me pinch myself, like I finally reached that. It's almost like when, I don't know what it's like because I've never been proposed to, but I can imagine like when you watch people getting proposed, like women or whatever, it's almost like they get emotional, but I feel like in that moment, it's like every person that you've ever like got your heart broken, or every person that you thought was the one, it's like in that moment, it feels surreal because it's like finally somebody not choosing me like a pick me choose me, but finally somebody that I love and want to be with is choosing me, when it's a real proposal. Because some people like they just be getting proposed just because, just say, oh, I got married and all this stuff. But um it's more so of a girl, bye, not scream. Y'all stupid as hell. I'm gonna have to block you. That was funny, but I'm blocking you. Um anyway, yeah, so it mostly, it feels like a energy of like, this is why I had to go through all these changes, all these shifts. This is why this didn't work out with this person, or I had to learn that this is not the type of person I really want to be with. Or it's like all these key moments, things that need to happen for a reason. Like the tower, it's not always the most welcomed energy, but it does bring revelation. It does bring truth. Sometimes, it dismantles what is not for us or healthy or never was healthy for us, so that you can reestablish and rebuild something that's more sturdy. So a lot of transition energy. I don't know if this answers your question, but it requires this in order to have this, right? I hope I'm making sense, child. Yeah, it's like, yeah, this like disconnecting, disassociating from connections or counterfeit energies, like just basically discerning the difference between a true connection versus attachment. Does that make sense too? That's one of the things. All right. Let's get it. Yeah, that was funny, but I had to block them because that was stupid. That was funny though. People are dumb as fuck. But if, as long as y'all like funny trolls, I don't mind it. But if you like evil and mean and bullying people, like I can't get with that. But I had to block them because it's just like you're distracting the message. You got to go somewhere and sit down. But that was funny though. And yes, Billy did do it. All right, let's go ahead and don't get scared of the tower card. The only thing what I always caution people about the tower card is if you know for sure that you're supposed to do something and you've been sitting there going, oh, okay, I'll put it off. Oh, maybe later. Oh, look. Yeah, no, not the tower. Tower, when it come and it hits you, it's like it forces you to do that thing that you know you was already supposed to be doing, what you were already supposed to leave. You don't want God to do it. You don't want the divine, the universe to step in, or your ancestors to be like, we had to do it. You had to do it again. Who's the remix? Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Okay. So, yes. Last was for Chan, and the question was a general love reading, just to see what's up. You've been getting your feet wet, even though you're working through some trust issues and commitment. So let's tap in, see what the divine. You're welcome. Yeah, don't get scared. The Tower of the Death card of the devil is like those cliche, the movies, how they have like the death card. And it's like, oh, or the devil, how movies we make a tarot cards like real spooky and all that shit. No, but the Tower, I say like the Tower doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Sometimes it's revelations like, oh shit, like whoa, it rocks your world, it changes your life, or it shifts your perception on something so much so it's like a major, like, I can't go back to the way things are. It may even make you uncomfortable to where you have to adjust and shift and change and grow. I think about, I'm gonna be honest, like the 9/11. I'll be thinking about that when I see the Tower card. It's like the 9/11 thing. Um, Not in like something catastrophic, but like if you think about something as significant and as life altering as that was, the ground zero and then aftermath, you can't see anything. It's smoky, it's not clear. When you're in the midst of the tower, sometimes you can't see because it just happened. Same things with these fires. I know I'm all over the place, y'all, but I had a dream, and I think I told some of y'all about it on the channel. If you've seen it probably before, I talked about this dream I had maybe a year or two ago, and that shit woke me out of my sleep. All I saw was fire. That's all I saw. And I knew it had something to do with America. And I was like, maybe this is New York or something because I seen an eagle carrying a book. So a lot of things might happen that's prophetic, but that dream freaked me out. I was trying to wake myself out of my sleep, out of that. Like I was trying to get out of that because it almost felt like I was a bird or an eagle. Like I was like third energy. I felt like I was flying. Like I knew I wasn't a human. I know that sounds crazy as fuck, but I knew I wasn't a human. I knew I was an eagle or something, like a big bird. And I'm flying over this city and it's in fucking flames. And I'm like trying to jolt myself out of my sleep because I'm freaking out. Like, what the fuck am I seeing? And I knew something wasn't right about that dream. But in the end, though, and this could just be prophetic and symbolic, but in the end, I flew to safety and it was like this garden space. It was like beautiful greenery. And this woman welcomed me into her house, like, it's safe here. And I woke up out of my sleep. But I tell you, that dream had me like, I'm trying to get out of my sleep because all I see was a city on fire. And it looked like it was completely destroyed. And I don't know. Hell to the no. I don't know. Like, let me tap out of that. Okay, anyway, the Two of Wands. So you're kind of like in this in between state. Let me see what your bottom card was Judgment. Your top card was the Sun. So you're in a good space. I feel like as far as getting to know people, Spirit is kind of encouraging you to step out a little bit more, maybe step out of your comfort zone with dating because you're not going to be in the same phase as you were in the past. So it might be some people that you meet that kind of remind you or may even trigger things of the past. And it doesn't necessarily mean to completely avoid them. It's like discern when somebody is like, a complete waste of your time or on some bullshit or just not a good person. Like, how to discern the difference. But sometimes those triggers might just be like invitations to grow. Like, I'm triggering, a person triggering something in you, not like in an abusive way, but just like in a way that makes you uncomfortable. Like, okay, this guy 5 minutes late on a date, instead of jumping to the conclusions, going, "Oh, I'm writing this person off. F them, they're dumb. I ain't got time for this. He's a player. He's wasting my time." It's like maybe learn trust, learn patience, or learn to release anxiety and rest in patience and like give people opportunities. People are human. It could have been stuck in traffic. Could have been anything. Maybe they left a little bit late. They couldn't control certain circumstances. It could be something deeper than that. It could be like their words, like it might trigger something in you where you go, oh, I don't know if I want to open up to this person because they're talking about they got trust issues too and blah blah. It's like little things that could trigger a response in you that doesn't necessarily have to be taken as something completely negative or a factor to cut it off, but more so to invite an opportunity to grow through that. Because if you run from it, you're not going to grow from it. You're just going to run to the same experience somewhere else. So this is like calling you to graduate past a certain energy, which I feel like you are. You're stepping foot into a new energy, but it's like be open to the unknown. Like each person that you date, they are unique, they are their own person. If we have a pattern of going for the same type of people or sticking to a certain type of demographic and we're not opening or not being receptive to something different, we might find ourselves repeating certain patterns. But ultimately, you're meeting a new person, so be open-minded and give them a chance until they show you that they cannot be trusted or they're just not someone that you are compatible with. It doesn't have to be a bad person, just not compatible. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're in that very close to, it's almost like these people that you're getting to know, either they're just like precursors into a better dating life, better love situation, or when you're more open and receptive to more healthier connections, or they'll graduate with you, or it could be both. Some people that, all right, these are bad apples, these are just lessons, and then these people over here, like, yeah, these are healthier connections for me. May not be the one, but they're healthier connections. Kind of what I'm getting from that. And you are going to have to use your own intuition and discernment and be able to go, this is anxiety versus this is my intuition popping off and telling me like something ain't right. It's like you got to be able to discern the difference. Don't throw in the towel so early or jump to a conclusion or write someone off immediately. Does that make sense? But don't give too much grace. That too. Okay. But yeah. So yeah, that was the reading for tonight. Okay, so that was long-winded, but we're gonna get into the collective read now. So if you guys are waiting for the collective read, you are very appreciated having y'all patience with me while I get to all my fairies. And thank you, fairies, for participating. So if y'all want to join the magic every week, what we do over here is I give away 5 1-card free pull reads for 5 fairies. You got to leave a fairy emoji. You could be any ethnicity or any gender fairy. Just use your fairy emoji, drop it in the chat. But you got to be active on the chat. So if I call your name, you leave your question. So you can't just leave one and then be like, okay, she got, she gonna read for me. No, you got to be active. Okay. So let's get to the collective read. Okay. Collective reading, we're going to be tapping into some spiritual warfare energy, right? So this is going to be one of those readings that we are going to expose, shadow energy so that we can work through it, power ourselves. Okay. That's what we're going to do. So let's get into it because we're going to have us a good old time. Thank you. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. Let's get into the reading. Oh, yeah, and projections too. Projection is also another form of energy warfare too. Yeah. So let's get into that. Let's get into the reading. Because we're going to expose that energy. Let's get into it. All right. All right. So let's tap in. And I created this spread as well with the intention of spiritual protection. So let's get into it. So what is a negative energy, spiritual attack, or toxic influence currently affecting you? I use the word projection for a reason too, because a lot of times when you're dealing with spiritual attacks, sometimes it is projection. People projecting onto you. That's another thing. I'm no stranger to that. It happens all the time, especially with doing what I do. You attract light and you attract darkness all the time. When you have the spiritual sight to see things, or you have the energy, like you have the ability to feel and sense energy, you're going to attract both darkness and lightness. Darkness is attracted to light for multiple reasons. It needs energy feeding. It feeds off of your fear, it feeds off of your insecurities, it feeds off of your doubt. It may even try to take you off path and off course by attacking you, by projecting onto you, trying to latch on to you, attach itself. You always know when you're being spiritually attacked. It usually comes around a time that you're exposing an energy. When you expose demonic energies, demonic activities, demonic characters, demonic plots and plans, that's when you get attacked. Or when you're having a spiritual breakthrough, or when some sort of blessing comes your way, or you may be overcoming an addiction or something like that. Spiritual attacks come your way. Demonic spirits do not like to be exposed for their darkness. This is one thing that I learned dealing with people as well, in dealing with demonic behavior in person and online. So, like, a lot of times I have a particular, like, I don't want to call this person out, but someone in my physical space that sometimes comes around to start arguments with people. And I notice that when you call the energy out, it gets upset. So what it does is it's try, if it can't attack you, it's going to try to attack someone else around. So that's one thing that I learned from that. It does not like to be exposed. It doesn't want to be freed. And this is a thing that I notice with people that have demonic attachments on them, or have, whether demonic attachments, there's a difference between someone that has an attachment, a demonic attachment, versus somebody that is dealing with a demonic influence, like they're completely influenced by darkness. One way that you can tell is that you don't even have to, when I say expose, it doesn't have to be like you actively trying to expose someone, but just like your energy can irritate people. Like, you could say something that is actually meant to help or heal somebody, or you say something like, well, you have the power to break free from that addiction. They'll attack you. They'll be like, well, what do you know? You think you know everything. Or what about your addiction? That's what they do. They deflect. They deflect and they project because they don't want to get free. And it's not so much always the person, because, like, I remember when I had the spirit of stubbornness stuck on me, like really stubborn, people could tell me something that was meant to help me, and they weren't coming at me. They weren't trying to be mean. They weren't trying to be argumentative or anything like that. But it felt kind of like an attack to me. Like, it felt like they were attacking me, like they were talking down to me or saying, oh, well, you're your own problem. And this, and I wasn't hearing it, because when I thought about it, it was almost like I didn't want to get free. When I really sat with it, it's like I didn't want to free myself of it, because I felt like I was entitled to feel a certain way, and not knowing that I'm working against myself. So that, nobody's exempt from negative energy or being influenced by negativity, or, you know, something that can even be their own detriment. Nobody's exempt. I've seen people demonically shapeshift in front of me, like eyes get completely black, face starts distorting, they start laughing, talking down to you. Like, I say, like, I don't be telling y'all this because I'm just like, oh, just making up scenario. No, I've dealt with this before. I've had to help a friend cast out a demon out of another friend. Like, we sitting here on a video chat, like breaking this off of her. Like, this shit is real. It's real. Just as like spirituality has so many facets, and it's not only just light and fluffy and love and light, and this is no. You got to think of darkness or dark energy or entities as roaches. Soon as you turn on the lights, they scatter. So when you come into a space, demonic energies are either going to flee or they're going to infest when you highlight it. So, like I said, you got to be able to discern what you're dealing with. But let's tap in because I just have to give real examples. I've had people come on and say all this wild shit. Like, why are you getting upset? You're triggered by something. Like, and it's not just one person. I get attacked by a lot of people, not often, but I've had people come at me for no reason. Some people apologize, some people don't. And I don't take it personally because I'm just a vessel. If spirit gives me guidance and insight, it might trigger someone. If you're supposed to get the message, it's going to trigger you. That's just what it is. If it's not for you, it's not gonna rile you up. It's not gonna get you all fired up. But those spirits that's operating, and people don't want to admit that they have demonic attachments, or people don't want to admit that they might have demonic influence. And sometimes people don't even know it. They don't even have the discernment to see it. They're just influenced. Um, there's other levels to this. Mental illness. People that are receptive to like mental disorders typically also can get spiritually attacked a little bit more, because you're dealing with the mind is a spiritual battlefield, literally. So if you have mental disorders and things like that, let's say like schizophrenia, multiple personality disorders, things like that, you might be receptive to demonic activities a little bit more too. I do not believe in people that are not emotionally sound to how do I say this? I don't agree with people that are not in the right place within themselves to consult spiritual things. I don't feel like people should be tapping into all these different spiritual tools or spirits and energy beings. And if you're not sound within yourself, you already kind of lack a certain level of discernment, or you don't have a healthy emotional like relationship with yourself. You're not somebody that deals with shadow work and accountability, because this is another thing too that I've come across a lot. And even speaking for my own self, like when you don't want to take accountability for your own mishaps, your own self, or things that have happened to you, you will project that either onto other people, or you'll just project that, oh, I'm helpless and hopeless. Nobody can help me. This is just what it is. Oh, well, you're not going to get anywhere with that. You're not. You're not going to get anywhere with that. So like people that get into spiritual stuff and just like want to get readings and stuff, but they don't want to do the work on themselves. It's easy to blame your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. It's so easy to do that. But to really be in tune spiritually is to be in tune with yourself. So if you don't know yourself, if you're not willing to do the work on yourself, love yourself, or be honest with yourself when you're wrong, you're never going to heal. Never. You're doing your own self a disservice at the end of the day. It's easy to, oh, everybody else. And that's another thing too. It's so easy to diagnose everybody else but yourself, right? It's so easy to do that. These cards flew out of the deck. Like the other day. I try to use like my real life situations without telling on people, because I know some of my like family and friends and stuff be watching my shit. So, but I have to be real. But I'm for their own confidential energy. There's someone that's close to me. Let's say that someone close to me in my life. Um, this person did a lot of projecting. Like when they get called out on something, then they try to like flip it back. And they diagnose everybody. Well, you're this, and this person is this, and they do this, and you do this. And it's like, wait a minute. Hold up, son. Hold up, child. You got your own shit. It's easy for us to do that. You can't. You have to hold a mirror to yourself. Real deep spiritual, like a really spiritually in tune person knows that you must, your first client, your first, um, whatever, your first, let's say not client, but let's say like your first, patient. First patient It's going to be you. You are your own patient. And you got to do what you're supposed to do for your well being and your healthiness by focusing on yourself. Right? So let's get on to it. I'm just flowing and going. Let's see. What negative energy, spiritual attack, or toxic influence is currently affecting you? Yo, I don't take it personal no more when people come at me and get all upset and shit like that. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. So that's another thing too. Like, you can't take these spiritual attacks personal all the time. You got the 7 of Cups. So these spiritual attacks can be like on your emotional well-being. If you are a single parent, specifically maybe a single mother, these attacks could be happening to you on an emotional level. It could be a lot of emotional distress. It could be um fear. Could be fear, it could be paranoia, it could be, you got the World card. This energy is ending though, it's closing out, because I feel like you're able to discern, either you're able to discern what's happening with you, or you're able to discern what you need to release and close out of your life so that this energy doesn't affect you. You don't want to give playing field to spiritual attacks. So if you know that being around certain people is unhealthy for you, and you know it's unhealthy for your mental health, and for those of you that are mothers or fathers that have kids, single parents, you're doing this on your own. If you know that the relationship that you have with, let's say, your child's mother or father, why would you try to reconnect with them if you know how they are, or if you know certain environments are unhealthy for you, or you're tempted into certain things? Why would you put yourself in the field of a temptation, or of a field of an environment with people that are not healthy for you, or whatever the case may be? Why would you put yourself in that position? Because it's like sometimes we can open the realm to attacks. I'm gonna use it as an example too. One of my coworkers, she said something today that we were talking about movie suggestions, and she was like, I don't watch horror movies. I might watch it at somebody's house, but I don't invite that type of energy into my home. And I say that sometimes too, but my daughter, she likes horror movies. Like, she's a horror movie fanatic. But I don't like that type of energy in my house too. Like, I have to be called to watch certain things, but typically I'm not somebody that wants to leave crime channel shit on, or horror movie stuff. Like, I don't, if it's something that I feel like psychologically or spiritually has energy behind it, I don't want that in my house. Or if it's a certain song that I feel like is like something is off with it, I don't want it played in my atmosphere. It's kind of like that. Don't invite things into your life that could be receptive to demonic energies or attacks. But as far as this goes, whatever the spiritual energy is, this spiritual attack or spiritual um negative energy or influences that may have affected you, because I don't feel like it's fully affecting you. I feel like it affected you. It's almost like it's past tense. It's about to come to a close. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of snakes here. Snakes can have good and bad imagery, so I feel like both ways. I'm gonna read it as I'm getting it. Some of you guys could be having dreams or having visions of snakes and serpents. And I feel like that is a sign of something that needs to be cleansed out in your life, or something that needs to be examined in your environment, certain things or certain people. The other thing is the timing. We are in the year of the snake, the zodiac Chinese sign of the snake. So this energy is coming to a close, or it's coming to a head right now. Okay. All right. Let's see. So let's see, where's your weak spot or your vulnerability? Where are you energetically vulnerable, and what needs strengthening? So this is, y'all want to listen to this. Y'all gonna want to listen to that, okay? Divine Spirit, for this collective that is seeking out spiritual cleansing and healing and purification and protection from demonic energy, spiritual attacks, toxic influence or negative influences, where are they energetically vulnerable, where they need to strengthen themselves? The Temperance. All right. Again, this requires patience with yourself. Okay. So whatever this attack or these energetic attacks that you're facing, I feel like this requires you to be patient with yourself, but it's also to manage the energy that you pour into. And this is a learning thing for you. The Temperance card is a Sagittarius card. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So whatever these spiritual attacks are and your vulnerability, it's almost like it's a lesson and a blessing because it's strengthening parts of yourself. So like you might be tested in your patience, you might be tested in something to do with discerning energies, um healthy, just like healthy distribution of your, like where you place your energy, basically how much, to whom, to why. It makes you think about that more, be more discerning. So this isn't like to blame shift on self or be harsh and critical towards yourself. It's just a learning tool for you. Like, okay, I know better than to ignore the red flags, or I need to learn to disengage with certain energies. You know what I mean? Like it's teaching you that. There's something about this energy where it might have many layers of what you're learning. This is for you. This is something for you when it comes to your discernment that you're learning. So your weak spot could very well be like um giving too much grace, too much patience, too much energy to something or someone. Um, if someone in your life you know is a user, or let's say your mother, your father is a narcissist, right? And every time they have a problem they always run to you for all the problems, and it's like, oh, because this is my mom or my dad, I have to do this, I have to do that. And then when they disappoint you, you get mad because you keep giving them that legal ground to play in your face. So you have to learn to discern energies too. That's kind of what I'm getting. And then something about the exchange, you're learning from this is helping you to expand. That's what this is doing. This is all a, I'm also getting like Wheel of Fortune energy too. This is something that is maybe like a karmic balance that's happening. All right. Anyway, okay. Hold on, sis. I gotta do this because this is ridiculous. But I knew it. It's all good. I knew that. Can't be mad at it. Let's tap in. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. I knew when I was gonna do this reading that spiritual attacks. Doesn't matter whom or where it's coming from. I knew it was coming. So we on the right track. Yeah. So what spiritual tools or practices can you use to protect yourself? Okay. This may vary. It's not going to be all the same, of course. So, yeah. I should leave it up so y'all can see what spiritual warfare looks like. So you can see what it's like to kind of deal with certain energies, because it comes with the territory. Whether it's from that person or other people, it happens. So that's what it is. What spiritual tools or practices can you use to protect yourself? And this is going to vary for everyone. It may not be exactly the same, or it could be your own type of energy. So you have the Wheel of Fortune. What did I say? Wheel of Fortune. All right. The Wheel of Fortune card, this energy, it has Memen Bridget, if y'all know who that is. But this is a very powerful feminine energy within itself. So I'm looking at this card, and it has butterflies in the card, it has sigils, it has a white candle, it has a skull head thing. I don't know what this is. I don't know, it might be a mojo bag or something like that. So this essentially could be anything that resonates with you. So You do want to work with candles if you feel led to. If anything, white candles. White candles are purification, purifiers. Um, if you're someone that's into sigils, you can create a protection sigil. Um, I would steer clear of always using like oversaturated, like spiritual tools or sigils and stuff like that. So, like for example, oh, I seen this sigil on the internet, and this is supposed to be for this or for that. It's like more so go with what resonates with you, yes, but something that's more personalized to you. So like if you're going online and it says, oh, to you gotta, to do candle magic, it only has to be done like this. Like the more personal for you and the more divinely guided you are, the better. I'm not really into all that Google stuff, Google this, Google that, for maybe for references, like, what's the spiritual properties of a certain herb and things like that. And if it's a consistent thing, it's like, okay. But if it's like, oh, to do this type of spell, do this and to do that and to do, like, you know what I mean? Like, make it your own, what resonates with you. But I'm kind of getting a lot of different things. I don't want to say learn what works for you in a sense of just like throw yourself out there and just do all kind of weird stuff, but um do it like figuring out what works best in certain circumstances. Does it require a spiritual bath? Does it require just a candle? Does it require maybe a smudging? Does it require a prayer? Or, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. It's like you got to figure out what works for you, because the Wheel of Fortune, again, that Sag Jupiter energy, where it's about the playing field, it's learning, it's exploring, it's different, maybe even different cultural practices that you might resonate with, especially if you're a multicultural person or multiracial. Certain things, like if you're Navajo, you're African American, maybe you resonate with hoodoo magic. If you are um Haitian, there might be different practices or things that resonate with you, or you're multicultural where you can kind of mix it. Or even if you're not multicultural, there might be things that you're more so called to, whether it's medicine, whether it's the Bible, prayer, like it's what resonates with you. Okay. A lot of you guys may be called to do some work around the crown chakra too, or you might want to if you feel led to, because that skull head is staring out to me. The sword, your power. So what inner strength or action can you take to stand in your power and overcome whatever this is or whatever may pop up for you when you need it, when you need the strength or this action. And I'm going to clarify this with this new deck. I just got it in the mail. So I had to go run and go get some stuff out the mail because I wanted to make sure I use this deck. It's the Soul Wisdom Oracle is what I'm going to use to clarify. But the sword, your power. What inner strength or action can you take to stand in your power and overcome this? Hey, sis. Hey, Tori. I was just thinking about you just like literally maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. Hey, sis. You're right on time. Hey, boo. And I can't see your name, but you said I caught you live. Happy 2025, everyone. Thank you for popping on. Happy 2025 calendar new year to you, too. Action, strength, stand in your power. What is the action that you need? Wow, okay. So you have the King of Swords, which is the Ogunan. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Forgive me. But yeah, this has something to do with your mind. What did I say, y'all? Like, the mind is the biggest playing field. So you have to protect it. You got to have that focus, okay? You got to have that focus. You have to have your mind in the right space. So where your inner strength comes from is really your mind. Like, what do you believe? What are you giving legal ground to? It can also even be not just your words, but the thing, or just your mind, but the words that you speak, the things that you affirm out of your mouth. What are those things? So if you're giving legal ground to negativity and speaking it over yourself, or thinking negatively constantly, in fear, No. And that's why I said I feel like some of y'all are going to be called to do something with the crown chakra. Some of you might need to do a head wash or something like that. Coconut water is good, like pure coconut water for a head wash, or you can create some herbs specifically, like find some herbs that help with clearing the crown chakra and like pour that over your head. And when you're done, make sure that you don't wash it out right away, but make sure you wrap your head with a white scarf or some type of white cloth. Cover your crown and say a prayer over your crown. I'm gonna get into that when we talk about the spell. Um, hold on. But yeah, you gotta your biggest weapon is your mind and the words that you speak out of your mouth. That is the strongest weapon that you have, and you need to use it wisely. You don't waste your energy on foolishness. You don't waste your energy or give legal ground or feeding energy in the demonic realms. Negativity, negative people. I learned this too, like at this job I'm at, but I've done this type of line of work in the past, like back in the day, working with like irate people. You never match energy with an irate person. You just let them talk their shit, let it get them out, let you get your let you get your shit off, okay? Well, I just sit here and I don't take it personal. I'm not taking it personal. And the reason why you don't do that, because you're feeding into it. You're lowering your vibration when you do that. How you handle it is more so in a place like this. I understand you're upset, but this is what the situation is. Or if it's a demonic energy, you don't reason with it. You don't reason with it. It's like you don't give it power. You don't match energy. You don't feed it. Simple and plain. It needs your attention. It needs your focus. It needs your permission. It needs your permission to have influence or to affect you. You don't feed it. So again, your most powerful strength or weapon is going to be your mind and your words. All right. Hey Sam. Yes, you got to, sis. Especially in this new year, you got to. The hidden ally. Who is your hidden ally or allies? So this can be unseen support, such as spiritual, ancestral, or maybe even personal, that's aiding you in this battle that you're currently going through. Yeah, some of y'all, if you have really big hair, or like you have maybe you have really like an afro, maybe not for everybody, but something with your hair, y'all need to, I don't know, put some in if you can. I think Erica Badu says this, but I used to do this too, but I would like put crystals in my hair, like you could hide it, you know, um, something that's not big, but like something maybe to like a crystal such as like a clear quartz, an amethyst, something for the crown. An amethyst is like, me personally, I feel like it has multiple properties like spiritual protection and psychic protection, or psychic enhancement, or clearer thinking. But something like that, or maybe even like a black stone or a protection stone or a smoky quartz, something that's going to protect and cleanse, and maybe even help you with your discernment if you feel you need it. But who is your ally? You have the Five of Swords. Some of you guys feel like you're alone in this battle by yourself with the Five of Swords. This woman is holding this machete in her own hand. You might feel like, some of you guys, you want to dim your light. No, no, no. You don't dim your light. You keep being an encourager, because to be of the light means that not only do you, it's like a light bulb, it sheds light on things, or the sunlight. But the sun, yeah, a light bulb is actually a false light, but a sunlight is divine light. Divine light, it not only sheds light on things, but it also is a revitalizer. It is a natural resource of healing and energizing. So if you're a person of light, you energize, you speak life and love, you motivate, you encourage, you inspire people. That's what true light is. True light exposes, not exposing in a sense of attacking and bringing people down and bullying. It comes from a place of shedding light by an example being an example of what is in the dark so that it can be of the light. When you're walking in your divinity and your light, people are going to try to cast a shadow on that. They're going to try that. They're going to try it. It's not something that you can plug in and plug out. Being of the light. That's why I said a light bulb is a false light. It's not something that you can just turn on and turn off in your inconvenience or when you want to, or you feel like, oh, it suits my needs. When you're of the light, that's what you are. You might have moments where you're in the shadows, or when you have moments of sadness or, fear, insecurities, and doubts, but you are the light. That will never be taken from you. You are here to revitalize and to bring renewal, not just to other people, but yourself as well. You got to know who you are. You got to know your divinity and the power in that. People are always going to try to tear down your light. If it's too bright, get sunglasses. But you ain't gonna throw no shade over here. you know so let's see who your ally is. I'm gonna pull another card. Allies or ally. Yeah. Okay, you have the Ogonian of Wands, the King of Wands. For some of you, this could be an ancestor. Some of you guys may resonate with Ogun, but this is a very protective spirit or energy. They have a very dominant presence. So like if you believe in like the spirit realm and ancestors, they make their presence known to you often. It's very bold. They may even like the color red, or it's just something that maybe a lot of warmth, like when they're around you, you feel like a warm energy, kind of like you get hot all of a sudden, like something warm in their presence. But I feel like this is an ancestor. And the way that they're helping you is like, my arms are open. I'm here. So some of y'all might not even be aware, or some of you are, but you don't utilize your ancestors enough, or you don't call or ask for their aid or your divine protectors enough. And they're here. Another thing that I'm getting as well is like how they're helping you, how they're aiding you is empowering you. Sometimes holy rage is that thing that activates you. It's like a warmth in your back. If you've ever been spiritually activated in a certain way, like where you get that warmth in your spine, it's like just something, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a warm sensation in your back. I feel like that's them aiding you to like almost spiritually say, stand up straight. Stand up straight, shoulders back, chin up. Have confidence in yourself. Have Godfidence in yourself. Confidence, when I think about the word confidence, con is like it's a con artist. It's not a real confidence. But when it's Godfidence, it's divinity. It's identified in your true core self, your goddess self. And it's not like a boastful egotistical energy. It's I know who I am. I believe in myself. I love myself. You know? They want you to rock in that energy. Okay? So this may not be the only aid that you have, but in this situation, and if your ancestor or maybe a past over loved one was a fire sign, even more so. All right. So what is the outcome, aka the victory? So what will be the result if you step in your power and apply this guidance and any other guidance that comes through for you on your own, through your own spiritual path, your own spiritual walk? What is the victory in this? And then I'm gonna pull some oracle cards on it to clarify. The Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is if you are indecisive or you're double-minded and you go back and forth with yourself, Not anymore. No, at least not in this situation. You take the blindfold off and you see the tower. There's a snake wrapped around this tower. Some more snake ideologies. Some of you guys may resonate with Mommy Wata. What was the other one? Where's he at? Um, the world card is Dambala Wedo. So these are mermaids and serpent god and goddesses energy, very powerful energy. So what I'm getting from this, whatever these false structures are, and these go deep. These are very deep energies. This is whatever this is that you're healing, it's deeper than the situation that you're in, or whatever the current spiritual attack is, or whatever the spiritual warfare is that you're facing, because it can be coming in many different variations and forms. But this energy, like the lesson itself, the experience and what you're meant to overcome, it's deeper. It almost feels like it's ancient or something, like way deep. It could be beyond you. This could be something like with your ancestors. It could be something with lineage, could be something with tribe, culture, things like that. It goes deep. But this year, this energy is being dismantled. Whatever this stronghold is, it's like okay. I'm gonna speak to some of you. This could be very specific. This doesn't have to just I'm not saying this portion to like cancel out the entire reading, that it can't resonate with other people, but specifically partially like the stronghold of this energy, it's something to do with the feminine collective, because you have the Empress at the bottom of the deck with Mami Wata, and she's looking at her own image. People think that when we see mermaids with mirrors, we automatically think of vanity, or that she's idolizing or worshiping her own beauty. But how about the water goddess represents depth? And when she's looking at her own reflection, that means she's looking at herself internally, like looking into her own soul, into the depth of who she is, and admiring that, admiring her depth, admiring her healing, admiring her power, purification and cleansing, the depth of that. Let's say that that's what the energy represents. Some of you guys may have gone through a lot of spiritual warfare due to something with women, because I mentioned single motherhood in the beginning for some of you. Others of you, it could be something about dimming your light. It's like you have to give yourself permission to walk in your power and your divinity, and not allow your circumstances and what comes at you in life tear you down. I know that sounds corny. It sounds like a YMCA slogan, but no, for real. Like you cannot allow certain things like to put you in a box, or certain people or things to put you in a certain box, because you also have your man Bridget, and she don't play either. Her energy, she might look scary to some people. You might think that this is you, helpless and hopeless, homeless with a penny with a hole in it. But no, you might have a energy that intimidates people. You may not look scary or whatever, but it's a metaphor. Like that's why I love Kali Ma so much, because her energy freaks people out sometimes, the tongue out and the eyes and the her with the man's head in one hand, it's scary looking, right? But that represents power and transformation. That also represents judging a book by its cover, like Medusa. Like her energy is like, ugh, like people turn into stone looking into her face. You know, your power may intimidate people. It may not be a physical thing, but it's your energy. If you don't know about you, you don't know who you are, you're going to be easily manipulated. And this is one thing I had to learn, because playing in that role of the nice girl, the nice guy, to be kind is different. To be kind means you're kind to people and humanity. You give people a chance. You don't judge people. You give people a fair chance. You respect humanity. But being nice is like you overperform, you're trying to win people over, or you're trying to appease, or it's a manipulative energy, being manipulative. But if you're just authentically saying, hey, like, I'm gonna be kind, I'm gonna open the door for somebody, even if it's a stranger, because that's just being, we're all human, let's respect each other, right? I'm gonna respect you as long as you respect me, or I ain't got no beef with you as long as you don't got no beef with me. But to be nice is like, I'm gonna overdo it. I'm gonna overextend. I'm gonna perform. Let me juck and jive for you so you like me, or you choose me, or I win you over, or your approval. Overextending yourself is not being in your power. A mutual exchange with a person, respect and kindness, is a equal exchange until it's not, and you say, nope, I'm not gonna treat you how you treat me, but I'm gonna protect my own self, and you're not gonna treat me any other way, right? There's a difference. If you don't know your power, people will use that shit against you, because people can be intimidated by you, and then automatically what people do when they're intimidated by something, when they fear something, they either try to label it, try to control it, or push it away, shun away from it. So if you allow yourself to be controlled by other people's narratives of you, or their uncomfortability, or for people to tell you who you are, you don't know your power. You don't know your power. You're never going to gain the respect of those that really value you, or should or could value you, by performing. What you're going to attract is people that essentially are going to use you. You're going to attract people that are not in alignment with you. Anytime you're performing, or overextending, or pretending, or lowering yourself, hiding, shedding your light, like, trying to lower yourself, trying to dim your light, trying to condense and fit in, you're not going to attract the things, people, places, and things that are divinely meant for you. When you do, yes, you're going to have pushback. Yes, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Yes, there might be people that try to tell you who you are, or don't like you, or just, like I said, repel you altogether. That's okay. You're not for them. You came here to do one job, mainly, like, not just one job, but like this one thing. You came here to live in your truth, as you're called to, in your divinity, to be your whole authentic self. And sometimes it comes in layers. You gotta learn to embrace certain parts of yourself, or you learn to uncover those parts of yourself, or discover parts of yourself that you never knew. Sometimes it's going back to the authentic parts of yourself. But like Tori said, death to the nice girl or to the nice guy energy. It's not real. It's fake. Kindness and respect, yes. Being nice, not authentic, because you're performing. And when you're doing that, that tells me one of two things. Either you're, like, consciously being manipulative, or subconsciously you don't know, because you've been taught that you have to earn love and perform for people to be approved of. No, you don't. Who's for you is for you, and who's not is not for you. That's it. The sooner we get that, the more we'll accept, like, or just get to a place where we don't get upset when things don't happen a certain way, or we don't end up with certain people, or this person don't want to be my friend, or this place didn't, I didn't get hired, or this is happening over here and this didn't work out. It's not meant for you. As long as you're being authentic, you're going to attract the beautiful things, connections, and situations, environments, and opportunities that are divinely meant just for you. All right. So I'm going to pull from the Soul Wisdom Oracle to see what other messages does Divine Spirit want us to know, our divine team, our angels, our ancestors. What do they want us to know? Okay. All right. Soul Wisdom, you are eternal and you are wise. A pretty card. It's like so many different faces and imagery, kind of like in a collage of light. And it almost, I kind of want to say, it looks like butterfly, a snake. It looks like an infinity symbol. I see a lotus. There's so many different beautiful images in here. And so this represents the different facets of you. And not all the facets are mastered in your eyes or what you think you're supposed to be and all this other stuff, but to embrace all of you. Like the stuff like that Shanoa that was like stubborn and didn't want to hear shit, just wanted to dwell in my own negativity sometimes. Even her, I sympathize and empathize with her. So when other people are in that, I know how to discern and almost like, yeah, kind of have compassion. Yeah, have compassion for them because it's like they when they get it, they get it. And if they don't, they don't. It's their free will. It's their choice. You know. Um, Soul wisdom. You have deep wisdom, like not just the acceptance part, but when it comes to learning how to like protect your energy, deep down inside, your soul knows what it needs. You know, you'll be led to it. As long as you're open to what you need or seeking that, you're going to find it. Because I can tell you certain things like through experience and through other people's experience and like what has worked. But ultimately, you got to make it your own thing. You got to find what resonates with you. Okay. I just want to say I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you. I appreciate those of you showing love, coming on, vibing with each other, and the positive energy. I appreciate that for real. I appreciate the love and just showing up because it's late where some of y'all are. So if y'all took the time out, I know that y'all really fuck with me. Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all. Yeah. Inner child healing. Okay. It says your authentic self wants to be whole. Yeah. He or she, you got the key. And that little you, they got the key. You got the juice now. No, I'm just like, you got the key. Only you can unlock this. You nobody else. And that inner child is kind of like, you know how kids, when they like a person, they love that person. Like they know like when they see grandma or whoever, auntie or uncle so and so, they run up to them, they love them, right? They show love. There's no hesitation when they love, or that teddy bear, that doll, that book that they love, that movie. They don't hold back. They geeked about it. That's the type of love you got to have for yourself. Your inner child is like, I fuck with you. You are me and I'm you. Like I know the core of you. I know who deep down inside you are, who you can be or tap into, like that energy. You gotta treat yourself like your favorite Disney movie when you was a kid. Like how many times you watched that motherfucker till the tape came out. You know, the tape roll was like coming out of the VCR because you done played it too many times. Or that favorite teddy bear that you love so much that got juice and chips and fruit on it. I don't know, dirt. You love it regardless. I bet you Lion King got stuck in the VCR. You made sure mom or daddy got you another one so you could watch it again, or Little Mermaid or whoever else you was watching, Aladdin. You probably got it like shoot, forget the VHS and now we got the DVDs. That teddy bear, it was dirty, but you still loved it. Grandma might smell like, I don't know. I don't like them old Chanel perfumes. They stink to me, but it's like you might like, oh, Granny, I hate that perfume, but you love Granny. You still gonna hug Granny. You might tell her the truth, like, hey, that shit you got on stank. Okay, why you got on this moo This why you always wearing this slip all the time? Like this slip is musty. You need to get rid of this. So just but you still love them. You know, you still love what you love. So why not give that same grace and love to yourself? Like you might not like everything that you do, and you might be shamed for some of the things that you've done or been through or said about yourself or someone said about you or things that you've done to other people, but you got to find that grace to love yourself regardless. And it's not saying, oh, it's okay to do the things that are not right towards yourself and to others, but to accept yourself like I'm not perfect, or I wasn't perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. But I accept myself in totality because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have learned for this. Or, I feel bad for how I went about certain things, let me change that. Let me be a better person. That's how you do it, rather. Oh, you're so stupid. Oh, you're so dumb. Why'd you let that happen? Oh, this, and that. You're the only one that has to live in your body and in your head. You're the only one. Greetings. Aw, thank you, Tori. Thank you, sis. I appreciate your art. Look, you left a blue. I got a blue butterfly right here too. Yeah, yeah. And that another thing. Transformation maybe be in the throat too. The throat chakra. Did you know? I don't know if anybody else knows this, but I learned this maybe a couple years ago that the throat chakra is also connected to our psychic energy. Okay. All right. So let's see what else, and then we'll get to the spell of the week because it's getting late, and I appreciate y'all for like staying up with me. It says you are special. You are loved just for being you. Y'all need yes. This is like divine mama energy. Divine mother energy. This could be someone's mother on the other side. Look at that baby. He's so cute, he chunky, or she, whatever, the chunky chunk. You gotta love yourself like a baby. I did this probably 2000. I want to say like 2018 because I remember the house or the apartment that I lived in at that time, and someone told me don't do this, but I did it anyway because I was guided to. I'm like, why not? I put my baby pictures. I put my baby pictures on my altar, or a specific baby picture. I put a specific baby picture on my altar, and I did that as a reverence to her and remind her of who she is. So, for some of you guys, if you're led to, sit with your baby picture, meditate, leave it up somewhere where you can see it, put it on a mirror, putting the mirror in your bathroom, or if you have a dresser, something that you can carry it with, or put it on your altar space, like not next to your deceased people. Because you can create an altar space for yourself, like a self-love altar space for yourself, where maybe you have adult pictures, like your favorite picture, like, oh, I was looking bad back. Ooh, that picture I was looking fine right there. Or it could be anything. But yeah, yeah. Could be anything that resonates with you, but I do feel like specifically with the inner child, like you should do some work with that little you, that love. Okay. And even more so specifically, if you have a deceased mother, they want you to know that you're special. They want you to know that. And that, again, that message that says you are loved just for being you. Again, the right people are going to love you just for being your authentic self. Don't sweat who didn't, because it's not about who did and who didn't. We're not doing free readings over here. We done with the free one questions. We're in the collective read now. But thank you for coming on. Yeah. But no, this reading, I feel like it's sealed, signed, delivered. We good. Let's tap into and at the bottom of the deck, I am light. You are a bright soul. Kind of looks like they're descending from the heavens to the earth. You see that? Like it looks like this person's coming from the heavens and coming down to earth. So like you got to know your divinity. You got to know your light. You got to know what you've been called or chosen for or to be and to walk in. Okay? Like I said, and that could be an affirmation that you are the light, the divine light, true light. Anyway, let's tap into the spell. And then at the top, I just want to look at it. It says wonder. Open your eyes to new blessings. Yeah. You guys have new beginnings and new blessings coming in, and you cannot sweat what is leaving. Again, like sometimes spiritual attacks are fucking distractions. They are. And that's why I said you cannot give power or energy to negativity, to negative people, all that shit. Like, for what? Come on now. All right. So let's get into the fun part. I think all of it was fun, but if you guys enjoyed this so far, like this video, I would greatly appreciate that. Because put my heart and soul into these readings, y'all. Come on now. We are at 99 minutes. That's crazy. Let's do 100. And I'm going to convert the time later. So let's get into the fairy ritual, the ghetto fairy ritual by yours truly, releasing negativity and reclaiming your power. So the purpose of this spell work here. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. Thank you so much. Because again, people resonate with who they resonate with. And like I had to learn to just continue to be my authentic self and then strip away thinking what I think people want me to be or who I think people would want me to be and how I should show up and on this platform especially like, oh, I gotta read like this because whoever fuck with you gonna fuck with you. That's just what it is. But yeah, so the purpose of this ritual is to help you cleanse negative energy, break ties what no longer serves you, and step into your personal power with confidence and clarity. So what we're gonna need our candles. I do not encourage using black candles all the time, if ever. I know some people are iffy about that, and I kind of am too. Like, I don't feel like it warrants that all the time, but I felt guided to black and red, and I just wanted to tap in and check in, with spirit and be like, okay, so if you don't feel led to use a black candle, you're not obligated. You can use white and red, but in this, I'm gonna have a suggestion for black and red, and I'm gonna explain why. But again, if you don't feel comfortable working, you can use a black crystal. But some people don't work with black candles because of the energy. But I feel like black is not always a negative energy. It is a powerful energy. It's just all about how you use and set your intention. So black candles can be for the cleansing and the protection. But again, white candles, they the OGs. Okay, they're like the clear quartz of candles. Okay, the red candle is for courage and empowerment. Okay, it's that primal energy. Okay, so I feel like together, black and red together is very powerful. But if you guys could find like a one of them 7-day candles, they do have black and like a block of red and black together. They do have those. um you can use pretty much any candle that you want. It just depends on how intensive you feel you need to cleanse and protect your energy. I would say it's, again, when you're doing your own work, your own spiritual work, tailor it to resonate with you and what you feel guided to do. um Something to cleanse your space with. And if you're using candles as well, I always advise other people's hands been touching your shit before you bought it. People have handled it. You don't know whose energy's been touching your candles and stuff like that. So you want to smudge, or you can wipe down with some Florida water. If y'all made your own fairy water like I did, I showed you guys how to make the fairy water. If you haven't watched that one, I don't remember. I think it was our second live, maybe. I think it was our second live, Ghetto Fairy reading. But you can use your own spiritual water, or I put mine. I made some Kananja water, and I do have the other Florida waters, but I have the Kananja one out as an example. You can spray that on your candles, wipe it down, wait till it dries. You don't want to get the wicks because it's flammable, right? You don't want them problems. Or you can smudge it with sage or Palo Santo or whatever smudge stick that you resonate with. But like Palo Santo is like the OG, so I prefer Palo Santo. It smells good. It smells like Christmas. It smells like fall. But yeah, you can cleanse your candles down with that, your space. Um, you're gonna need, or you can use salt water. Salt water is good for cleansing as well. Or just good old water with prayer and intention over the water. That's it. Or you can hold it in your hands, pray over it, cleanse it. But I would say like you want to wipe that down, literally wash it. And sometimes it be having like dust and dirt in it anyway, so you might as well just clean it off. But you're gonna need a body of water. So whether it's a bath whether it's a shower or you feel led to go to the ocean. But who's going to do that right now? Because it's cold as shit everywhere, probably, except for like maybe, I don't know, Australia or something. I don't know. But if it's winter where you are, I wouldn't advise you getting in a body of water other than something that's in your house where you can easily warm up, cover up and warm up. But yeah. Um, if you feel like you don't need to do that much of intense work, like sometimes when people are doing extensive things such as exorcisms, I know for a fact when my aunt in the church, when she used to do exorcisms, like spiritual deliverance on people, she would wash her hands after, like pray and cleanse and wash her physical hands. But I feel like for this, let's stick to the shower or the bath. Let's do that. Because not everybody has a bathtub or access to a bathtub, but a shower, I'm sure we can all access that. So just a body of water. Um, and then you need a pen and paper as well to write down what it is that you're releasing and what you want to manifest. So maybe two separate pieces of paper. I like to use parchment paper for this. But you can use a plain piece of white paper, like a printing piece of paper or a notebook paper that doesn't have any logos. You just want your words, your text, your handwriting on it. Then, just for the extra, if you feel led, like I said, to use a crystal that resonates with you, you can. Whether you're going to hold it as you pray or meditate, or you have some that maybe you can put in your candles. But when you work with crystals, they're living things. So, like, treat them with kindness. So, I wouldn't always advise put them in candles, but if you feel like, it's okay and you'll reuse the crystal later and things like that, cool. Or you feel led to bury it back in the earth and give it back to the earth, you can do that as well. Or put it in your bath with you, make sure it's non-toxic. Salinites, for sure, you cannot put salinites in the water with you because they will dissolve. Um, if you want to use herbs, there's a lot of herbs that are powerful. And there's one that I cannot pronounce, but there's a song. What is his name? Hector Lavoe. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's a Puerto Rican singer, and he has a song about this specific herb, and it's used for some deep spiritual cleansing. I think it's called Rompe Sagaloe. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. Do not judge my Spanish. It sucks ass. Okay, it sucks. But yeah, um, you can use rosemary. You can use what's another good cleansing herb? I would say if you can get that rompe sagaloe. Hopefully I'm saying that right, but if not, if you can find that, I would actually encourage you to use that if you're gonna use a herb. If not, you can stick to the sea salts, the pink Himalayan salt, Florida water, just a little dash of Florida water. Oh, rue. That's what it is. Rue is really good too. There's a lot of different herbs that you can use that have a lot of properties where you don't need a whole bunch of herbs at once because it's like some of them have similar properties. So it's like you don't need to do all that. And the herbs are given to us by God, so they do have their own power and energy of healing as well. So we want to be respectful of that. So when you do this, I would say make sure that you're in a space of no distractions. Okay. If your energy is like hyped up and it's angry, it's emotional, don't do work in that energy. Be in a clear minded space, be in a place of like, okay, I'm grounded, I'm solid, okay, where you can focus, your energy is in a good vibration. So you want to create the space of, peace. You also, I would encourage you to call on God, source, the universe, your ancestors to help you, those that have the power to help you, your angels to come and protect you, aid you, support you, and protect you during the time of your session and then after. Um, so yeah, you can cleanse your space again, like with some Palo Santo or some sage, or you can spray, or you can use some dragon's blood incense. If you don't know, now you know. Some of y'all know about dragon's blood. I love the smell of it too. It smells so good. So yeah, you can say a little prayer. I cleanse my space. Only love, peace can remain here. If you feel led to put on some vibration, some binaural beats, or maybe something that resonates with your ancestors. If you got the native ancestors, the flutes. I love listening to the flutes and the native drums. It sounds so good to me. Or like I also like listening to like the African drums as well, specifically like Congo. Like I just the power of it, just like or if you have like a specific deity or god or goddess that you resonate with. If they have meditation music, mantras, like Kali Ma got this mantra, child. I don't know if y'all ever found it, but there's a mantra. I got it downloaded in my phone. Like, yeah, this Kali Ma mantra. They also have like Ganesh. Ganesh is I hmm but this is a little more heavy duty, or it just depends. It's up to you. But like Ganesh is also very good when it comes to banishing negativity as well. Kali Ma, Durga, child, yeah. Sometimes you gotta call on them goddesses that don't play no games, child. Like, yeah. Um, so you want to set your intentions, right? So with your piece of paper, you're gonna write down your intention. So I release all the energy that no longer serves me. You can get real specific, okay? And then on one side, I reclaim the power. I call my power back to me, or whatever is resonating with you, whatever tailors to your needs. So then you're gonna get your candles ready. Safe space, please. Please burn your candles in safe spaces, okay? You're gonna first burn your black candle if you're using a black candle. If not, if you're using a white candle, that's fine. So light your candle, and as it starts to burn, focus on this candle with the intention of absorbing negative energy around you, harmful energy. That it's absorbing that energy, it's taking it all in. It's almost like black matter, like it's just taking it all in. And you can pray over. You can say, I release whatever is holding me down, blocking me, whatever. Right? I'm cleansed. I'm divinely covered, protected, whatever. Blah blah blah. Then you're going to get your red candle, and you're going to do the same thing, but just different. You're going to visualize yourself in an energy of strength and empowerment. You can visualize your physical self, or just the energy or feeling of that. And as the flame burns, you can say something along, I reclaim my power, I take the pieces of myself, blah, 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 whatever. All right. Then you're going to, I almost forgot. You need a mirror. You're going to need this mirror. If you bought a mirror, cleanse that mug off before you use it. Okay. I wouldn't use a mirror that you use every day, like for the girly girls that carry their mirrors, their compact mirrors in their purses and bags. Whatever you're using for this, do not take that with you everywhere you go. Leave it in the space of where you're doing your spiritual work, or where your candles are, because it's you don't want to. It's almost like going to a church and taking something off an altar and putting it in your purse and walking around with it, even though you might think, oh, it's a protective thing, and this, leave it with your stuff. So you're gonna take your mirror, and you're basically going to look into it. You can tailor this however you want. If it resonates with you more to say, if it resonates with you more to say, um, that what is it? Whatever you say to me comes back to you, sticks like glue or whatever, and put it face down. But you can look into it and say an affirmation over yourself. No harm can reach me, or all negativity will be reflected back to sender without harmful intent, blah, 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 whatever you feel guided to say. Um, and then put it somewhere safe. I keep hitting this thing over here. All right. So yeah, when you take your spiritual bath, because that's the last part, that's the most important. I mean, every step is important, but your spiritual bath or your spiritual wash. And I did mention in the collective reading that some of you guys may be guided to fully cleanse, starting from the head, and to not wash your hair, or your hair until sometime after, maybe the next day. Like if you're gonna do this, let's say you do this before the night is over, and you're going to bed, wash it when you get up. if you can. But when you're doing your spiritual head wash, because I mentioned coconut, some people like to rub coconut all over their body and then expose of it somewhere far away from your house. You can do that if you're guided to, but like look into those type of things first, like research it a little bit more for yourself. But if you're going to do a head wash, make sure that when you're done with your spiritual bath that you don't wash it out, and you cover your head with a white cloth or scarf, something white. You're covering your crown chakra. So when you get into the bath, you're going to want to say something like this. I would start from the head to the feet. Everything is intentional. So you can say, I cleanse my crown chakra of all negative thoughts, um, my ear gates from any negative words, whatever the case may be. Like just start, just wipe it, just cleanse your auric field, your energy, just clear it off, clear it out. The more specific you're, the better of what it is that you're like cleansing out of your space, your auric field, the better. Um, with your paper, the paper where you wrote down what you're letting go, whether it's fear, doubt, whatever it is that you want, any negative energy that you wish to release. Um, Thank you. I don't know who closed. Why? I don't know what the super chat was. I'm not doing any free readings, so I'm just letting y'all know. Like, don't send me a super chat, unless you just want to donate and you just showing some love, little tip. I appreciate it, but we're not doing personal reason. I do not take super chat for readings. But yeah, so you want to go ahead and like write it down specifically, any negative energy that you want to let go and release out of your life. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, people, environments, whatever, and be very specific why you want to release this. And you can burn this somewhere safe. Release the ashes somewhere so it can. Oh, thank you, Chloe. I appreciate that. um but yeah, you can let the ashes flow where they may. Let them go. You know, take the ashes, spirit, take it. Um, what else? Or you can just tear it up and dispose it. Like, we want to be safe over here with the flames. We want to be safe. So you can cut it up into little pieces, dispose of it, get rid of it, let it go. And then when your candles are done, also take them somewhere and toss them away as well. Just get rid of them out of your space, out of your time. But yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I don't think so, but yeah. And as you guys are showering, if you're doing the whole shower method, just imagine like whatever it is that you're washing off of you and cleansing off of yourself, that as it goes down the drain, it is cleansed. It is not yours to carry anymore. Um, if you're doing the bath, same thing. Let the stuff dispose. If you're using herbs in your bath, toss that shit out somewhere as well. Get rid of it. Don't forget to thank your spiritual team. Um, and just make sure that you keep up your spiritual hygiene. This is not a one and done type of thing. You have to walk in what you say. If you're saying, I take my power back and this and that, and I release this, you got to walk and stand in that. Like, you got to constantly make sure spiritually and daily, whether you are the most spiritual person or not, you have to make it an effort to stand on not opening the gates, because anytime you release an energy, you always want to, and I forgot to mention this, whenever you're done doing spiritual work, and I'm not going to give you guys everything that I do because that's stupid. I'm not going to tell you everything that I do. You got to make your stuff your own, but I'm giving you the basics and y'all do what you will with it and make it your own. But there are some things, some protocols that maybe you're going to be called to do that I didn't mention. And there's things that I'm guided to do that I'm not going to do every time when I do a spiritual cleanse or. But one thing that I feel like you should always remember is that when you're doing a cleansing of something and a releasing of something negative, you always want to replace the energy with something positive. So whether it's an affirmation or a prayer or doing something positive of the opposite of what maybe you've been doing, or if you know that you don't want to connect with people that are negative or abusive, or environments that are negative or whatever, you don't go in those spaces anymore. You don't connect with people like that anymore. Or if you know there's something that you've been doing, a pattern within yourself that you know is wrong, you're not going to do it again. You're going to hold yourself accountable because you don't want to open those gates again, you know? Um, Feel your energy and protect it. Create an energetic field of protection and light and love. You can say another mirror affirmation to yourself in your other another mirror where you speak love over yourself, where you speak light over yourself, where you empower yourself, or you speak powerful affirmations. You always, whenever, because I learned this in deliverance and in church, like church deliverance, whenever you help someone cast out a demon or exorcise them of a demon or spirit, whatever, you always want to, and it's very specific, I learned. Like people can have demonic energies in their tongue. So they might say negative stuff all the time. They might, it's like, it's a whole thing. I'm not going to get too deep into it. But what I learned is that when you cast those spirits out, and you might call them out by name, it could be gossip spirit, it could be a monitoring spirit. And like wherever the space is that you're casting out, could be something in the stomach, could be the spirit of lust. You're going to replace it with, I speak words of love. I speak words of positivity over myself and others, or about my life. Or if you're casting out the spirit of gossip, if I don't have nothing nice to say, I'm not going to say nothing at all. I don't talk about people behind their back. If I have something nice to say about a person, I'll speak and I'll let them know, or I'll say good things about people genuinely. Of course, you won't be fake. Oh, I like them, and you're like, I can't stand that. You know what I'm saying? It's, you have to replace the energy with something positive. And in this case, when you're cleansing your energy as a whole, you're giving that empowerment back to yourself in that positive space. You want to protect and shield your auric field, but daily, because you can go to Walmart before you walk into a Walmart, and sometimes we don't always remember to do this, but when you walk into a building, you protect yourself, you protect others in the building, you protect that space from harm and negativity. If you're handling and dealing with different types of energies or people all day, you got to wash your hands, you got to wash your energy, cleanse it, smudge it, whatever, because you don't want to carry that energy with you. You know what I'm saying? So when you're on the phone with somebody, it's like, oh, that was a negative conversation. It's like, I cleanse that out of I don't want nothing to do with that. And are we going to remember to do that every time? No, but it does help to keep up your spiritual hygiene. Like it's just a common thing. Like we're energetic beings, vibration, it sticks. But yeah. So I would say, that is pretty much it. You want to make sure that what you're doing, you're very intentional and specific, and you do what you're divinely called and aligned to do, that you're not just doing it just because it's cute, or, oh, I seen this on TikTok, and no, no. There's so many different methods. I'm just sharing like some things, something that's very common, intentional. You can, maybe some things resonate, like maybe you don't resonate with the journaling, maybe you're better off, you feel like you resonate more with saying it out loud of your own mouth and setting it and forgetting it. Some of you are not into the whole candle thing, or maybe some of you guys aren't into the whole spiritual bath thing, but have something that resonates with you, that you actually believe works. Because if you don't think something works for you, it's not going to. It's not going to work. If you don't believe it for yourself, it's just like you just doing something just to be doing it, basically. You have to have that conviction. You have to believe that what you're doing is for your betterment. Otherwise, what you doing it for, child? Like if you if you don't have that clear intent, or you don't believe what you're doing, what are you doing it for? And like I said, this is not a one-time fix thing, but I will say, like, once you do it, believe that it is working, but you got to upkeep the spiritual hygiene when you do these things. To get into a habit of protecting your energy, you don't play about your energy. You got to think about it as like you're a child. Let's say you're the parent and you are the child at the same time. And if you're taking your kids to the park, what is your what's your rules when you take your kids to the park? Like you got to have that with yourself. Like We don't talk to strangers, right? We don't get enticed by shiny things and walk away and leave, or we don't fight and bully on the playground. And some of us were taught like if somebody hit you, you hit them back, right? But in this instance, it's like come get your mom so you can like get that kid's mama and daddy in their dresses. So kind of like with your spiritual thing, instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna go toe to toe with these low vibrational energies. No, call on your peoples, your spiritual team, they'll handle it. Because people think that just because they call on their ancestors, that their ancestors are always going to back them up. I firmly believe that if your ancestors are real solid and about that life, they're going to hold your ass accountable. I know mine does. Because it's like you should know better. Like if you're doing spiritual work, you should know better when you went wrong with something, and you should check yourself. So when you do something that's out of alignment, it's almost like you get smacked on your hand immediately. I've heard other people say this, like you get smacked on the hand immediately. So like people that think, oh, I can just go around hurting people and doing this, and my ancestors got me. No, your ancestors probably standing in the back shaking their head like this motherfucker. Like no. So yeah, take it to your ancestors because it's gonna be handled. Okay, nobody can just put spiritual hands on you and just like keep it going or moving. And sometimes it's not people; it could be circumstances, and it's higher than people. Sometimes it's entities. And when you're getting attacked by these, because if you believe in angels, I don't know why people just can't fathom the idea that there is demonic spirits and entities out. If you believe in spirit guides and angels, and then why wouldn't you believe in that? Because that's real. So with that being said, like sometimes it's higher than, because this is why I said in the beginning, like you think it's a person that's attacking you. It's a spirit. Sometimes it's not even all the way them, you know. Yeah, they be delusional as fuck, but it's not just physical warfare with people or circumstance. Sometimes this entity's working against you, and then you got to think like, what is it about you that is so threatening to the demonic realm that they want to attack you? You have to think from that perspective. There's something about you that is powerful and significant, something on you that you're something that you walk in, something that you carry, something that you bring that intimidates or triggers, that angers and upsets the demonic kingdom. Like what is it? What is it? Because you're not being attacked because you did something wrong. Like if if you walk in an energy where you're not creating negative karma around you, and you're not hurting and harming people, or you don't have the intentions to do that, and you're being attacked, or you're just being your authentic self, or people just don't like you for no reason, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Some things happen to, it's oftentimes spirit is like you could feel like you're left out and you're alone, but like shit like this online, and even people in my physical experience, like in my life, that people that I know personally that um can be kind of demonic sometimes, um or operate in very low vibrational energy and attack. You can't take it personal, but when stuff like that happens, it's very small, and it's like it's almost like a test. Like if you were playing in the little league football before you get to the NFL, this shit online, like these trolls and bullies and these heifers and these ninjas that be upset, like this is just this is small in comparison to like what some people have to deal with, like maybe they have bigger platforms or more people know their name, or they work in these big companies. It's like what Biggie Small said, more money, more problems, but not necessarily, I don't want to say like more money, but like when you're the higher you go in life or the more you achieve, and it doesn't even have to be just achievements, something about your energy. If your energy is powerful enough, you're going to attract lower vibrational energy. But like this type of shit like this, yeah, it's something, but it's nothing at the end of the day. So like bullying and like calling people names and like talking shit and gossiping about people and all that stuff, that's small change. That is small change. So yeah, sometimes it's just a learning tool. Like I said in the beginning of the reading or during the collective reading, I think it was like a lot of the things that you experience or may be experiencing, it's really for you to learn discernment and how to distribute your energy, maybe even how to handle spiritual warfare, to learn more about yourself, to appreciate yourself, to love yourself more. It's so many layers to this, but just know that it's just a test. Not that big of a deal. People have opinions all day. You know, it's okay for people not to like you, and that's the realest thing ever. Like, people could say whatever they want about me, and it's like, okay, that's how you feel. It's how you feel. It does not going to affect me. It's not going to change my life or my world. So again, going back to that message, you got to know who you are and love yourself. Because if you allow people to tell you about you and you're this and you're that and you're not this and you're not that, and you take that on and you believe that, you're just feeding into the delusion, because it's really a projection. This is what I notice about people that operate in negativity all the time and like always talking about other people. Usually the bullies and the people that gossip and talk about people behind their back or talk about people to their face and try to bully them, they're usually people that don't like themselves. Oftentimes they don't, because a happy person or a truly, like somebody that's truly solidified and confident in themselves, they're not worried about other people to the extent of trying to tear another person down. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody always has something negative to say about you or an opinion about you that's negative, or let me tell you, like, healthy people, let me say this, healthy people, what I notice is that if I don't like something, I disengage with what I don't like. I might say, let's say you order something and the food tastes bad. You're not gonna go off on the waiter and be like, I can't stand it. Oh, you bitch, this, and that. Like, that's crazy. It's mentally crazy. It's a difference between saying, you this I need to return this. This doesn't taste good. Can I have another one? Kindness pays you forward better than aggressive behavior, negativity, yelling, being irate. Like, you get better, you can move better in the world when you have a positive energy, you know. So, yeah, I wouldn't trip off of that. I would not trip. Like, how is somebody gonna tell you about you? When they can't even deal with their own self. Like, yeah. People don't gossip about other people's life when they have a life. People don't attack other people if they're solidified within themselves. You won't feel the need to go up to somebody and say, girl, I don't like that sweater you got on. It's ugly, it's lame, it's whack. It's like, you could have kept that to yourself. Like, what did you get out of that? It made you feel good to tear somebody down. And if that's the case, something wrong there with you. Like, I don't think people get it. Like, maybe we get it because, common sense, right? We're human adults. Even kids probably understand that. Like, if I say something mean to somebody, then that most likely is like coming from a negative place. It's not warranted. It's not a healthy state to be in. Like, that's common sense. So, like, if you have to go out of your way to attack people, and that's why I don't trip off these motherfuckers online. Like, what is y'all talking about? Like, what are you talking about? You sound childish. Like, name calling and stuff like that. It's like, sis or bro, dude, whatever. Like, y'all, like, what? Like, it's funny to me because it's just, they don't understand that they're showing their the mask and the woundedness in them. Yeah, it's psychotic. Yes, it is. It's it's mentally psychotic. Yeah. That's the perfect word to put it, Celeste or Tawanda. Yes. It's psychotic because it doesn't make sense. It's not a healthy wiring within the brain to do that. It doesn't make sense to me. So, like, it's not something you should take personal. Like, oh, okay. Oh, bitch, you this and this and that. Oh, bitch, I hate your readings or this and that, or you this and you that. And you're like, okay. Like, are we on the playground? Because if I wanted to go there, I can go real low. I can go to hell with my comebacks. But I'm not going to do that. It's okay. It's okay. Y'all not worth it. Y'all need to love yourselves. Y'all need to hug y'all damn self. Maybe some people, these people need to touch grass and get a hug. It's like, God damn, like what's wrong with y'all? For real. It's sad. Cause I didn't tell you homeboy was coming back and oh, you told me and you said, or I don't know. Like, or you just don't like me, or ain't nobody trying to give you the time of day or something. Like it's just it's petty. Like move on. Like go watch another channel. Go do something with your life. Like why y'all all up in here in other people's lives? Like what's wrong? Like for real. Go touch grass, okay? Go touch grass. Y'all not that important over here. I'm just doing my job. And if y'all was, y'all be a part of my tribe. Like we just vibe. But since y'all not, like I don't care to think about y'all. Like y'all just like Evelyn, like, what's her name? Evelyn Lizondo, y'all non motherfucking factor. Like, for real. Like, what are y'all contributing? If you're not contributing nothing positive, you're not over here contributing nothing to anybody else that's positive, then just get a life. Like, I don't understand. And I think sometimes Google's be on here. Google be on here having, I think, I don't know what they be doing. They be doing something. Yeah, that's why I be delete, delete. Don't read it, just delete it. Like, why engage? Like, I be seeing some readers going in the comments trying to de-escalate and trying to, diffuse. I'm like, delete, block, delete, block, delete. We can go all day. Y'all just wasting your time. Block, delete, block, delete. We could do this all day. Go get a life. So, for real, we gonna close it out. Because I know I made some people upset, and that's the point. As long as y'all triggered upset, it's just letting your own self know that you need healing. You need healing. And if it was something that was meant to help you heal, you would take heed to that, I guess. But some people don't get it, and I'm not here for the people that don't get it. So, yeah, I just help set it and leave it. Whoever it's meant for, they'll do the work. If not, it is what it is. I don't have any control over that. Other people's emotions, other grown people's emotions and opinions don't mean me no mind. It has nothing to do with me. It's a personal thing. So yeah, I hope that helps y'all. So yeah, block, delete, block, delete. That's how y'all gotta move. Block, delete in your physical life with people. I don't really deal with too much like negative people in my physical world. It's like, some people, but yeah, it's just, it's not a common thing, but like online, like all my friends and stuff, like whatever content they create, it could be their music, it could be on TikTok, it could be body positivity. There's always those people that just got time to just, you know, I don't know, maybe people need to take some meds. I really, I really, 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 really wish for the world that we could all just find the beauty and empowerment in self healing, you know, because the projections and the mental psychosis and like that people have is kind of scary, especially in the spiritual community. And like I notice a lot of times too, like when I look at other readings and not just for myself, but like when I see other readers, there's always somebody that thinks that the reading is just for them or that you're talking to them or you're coming at them. I had this one lady. I this one lady accused me and other readers. It was some lady that said her husband, like, you're paying my husband to read and say these, or my husband is paying you readers to say this about me and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this is a collective reading. You're not the only person in the world that has these issues. It's really it's scary. I will say that. It is scary because that's why I said mental health. I wish we would prioritize our mental health more. And if people have medications that they're assigned to, they need to be taking their medication. I'm not trying to be funny when I say that. People need to take their medication for real. Like if you have a prescription for something to help balance you out and you're not taking it, not only are you doing a disservice to other people, but you're doing a disservice to yourself. I have a particular family member, that person, they need to take their meds because when they don't, um, they act irate and they pop off and they start acting crazy. And you have it for a reason. And if it's something that maybe you don't like the way it makes you feel, go back to your doctor and tell them to help. Like, what's something, that will make me feel more energized or motivated rather than feeling sluggish or moody. Like, is there another alternative? Because if not, yeah, you're, no, no. I want to do like a topic, not even a reading, but I want to do like a topic talking about spiritual psychosis because it's very easy to go there. That's why I tell people like you have to ground spiritually. If you don't have a a practicality to your spirituality and you're just always in the spirit and you're constantly looking for signs of synchronicities and everything is, oh, this is that is a sign and the government's stalking me, and like, you need help. You need help. You need help. Like if you don't got nobody knocking on your door from the government, like hitting you up, then like no. No. It's really scary. It's like scary as fuck. Like when I say scary, like how the human brain can go to certain extremities like that, like extreme ones, like, oh. I remember I had one for a week. And this was after I took some edibles and like I was like questioning everything, everybody's motives, and I stayed in my room for like days and I had to pray my way out of that shit. It's so real. Like it's so real how the brain is so triggered, and certain chemicals, certain things that we eat, certain things that we drink, I feel like definitely trigger certain psychoses. I don't know if that's how you would pronounce it, but it's I be joking and like kikiing about stuff, but for real, like I swear to y'all, like I don't you can't, I don't know how to explain it, but like spirituality, really, you have to have balance. you, you got to. And if you just like constantly watching tarot readings or going to spiritual people and getting, one of I love this friend to death. I don't know where he is right now in the world. I don't know what's going on with him. I haven't talked to him in 2 years, but I know that he was going through a spiritual psychosis, and like I would like try to talk him through it and stuff because he would go to different healers and practitioners and stuff, having them do work on him and stuff. And I was just like, you opening your gates up to all these random people and you don't know what their intentions are, or you're in a very vulnerable state, you know? And the last conversation we had, it was like kind of alarming because I'm like, I don't know where he went, like what he felt he needed, where he felt like he needed to go and all this. It was, that's why I don't play about this stuff because people be really convinced about certain things, and it's like if you're not right in your mind. And I'm gonna get into the twin flame thing. I think when I go live with my sis and Divine, we're gonna talk about certain things, but I want to say this real quick. The whole twin flame thing, people believing that people are their twin flames, and oh, this person is, they're my soulmate and they're my twin flame and they're texting me, um, subliminal messages on the TV and this and that. And it's like, okay, I'm the first to tell you that telepathy, I believe it works because I did it with a friend. Like while we were on the phone, I did it with her. So I know it works. But it's like if you're the only person engaging in a connection and it's completely one-sided, like no. Like that lady, I make a joke about this too. I'm surprised Nina's not on here, but it's this joke. Like this woman, it was an article on E News. I think it was like in 2015, 16, something like that. Maybe a little further than that. This woman had a restraining order put on her by the actor Ryan Gosling because of a protection order for himself, his baby mother, his child, and I think his family. Because this woman, she went to a reader, and this reader told her that Ryan Gosling was her twin flame, and they had a karmic past life together. And so she started hitting up his family all the time, and like telling him, "I'm your long lost something, like daughter-in-law, whatever." And she would constantly message them, and it got to the point where he had to get a restraining order, protective order against this woman because she believed that so much. A reader told her, "Yeah, that's your twin flame." And who's to say, like, this reader wasn't just telling you that to get your money? You know what I'm saying? Like, you already thought that, so you went and got the reading, and the reader was like, "Yeah, this is your twin flame, and like you have a past life." And let's say, hypothetically, let's say there is some sort of spiritual connection of some sort, but it may not be that. And that's where we got to have that governance to be like, "Oh, this is insanity, or this is out of order, this is out of line." It's not enough to just be like, "Oh, he said my birthday on a movie." Like, bitch, so what? Like, so, like, you have to have spiritual governance. Like, that's why I say, like, practicality and spirituality, they go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. Like, there's some wild stuff that, like, God will speak, or the universe will speak to us in codes and messages. But, like, if there's nothing to back that up in the physical, like, "Oh, my name is Jessica, and he said Jessica in a song. So that means he's talking to me in the song." Like, no. Mm-mm. No. Or this guy, we have butterfly tattoos, so that means we're twin flames and stuff. It's just like the extremities of stuff that you got to balance it out. Like, if Jessica, if you, let's say Josh and Jessica, something, I don't know. Let's say Jessica feels like Josh is her soulmate, her twin flame. And Josh has a girlfriend, and he's happily in a relationship with her, and he's not paying Jessica any mind, and she just got this whole fantasy in her head that this is my man. And he might have had to tell her, like, "Hey, I don't like you like that. This is my girlfriend." And then she's still going, "But you said that we were twin flames because you wrote this on your Facebook, and I felt like that was towards me." Like, if there's no communication, because this is the thing, I think people want to be delusional because it's fun, it's like a fantasy, especially parasocial relationships. You want to believe that you're tied to a person or a celebrity, like, "Oh, Beyonce, she loves her fans so much because she did this and this and that." And then you just going ham for Beyonce. Like, nobody but God can, not even God can say anything about Beyonce that you don't like, because you're gonna go off. You're gonna go off on this person, you're gonna go off on that person, you're gonna leave your husband if he say something about Beyonce. Like, you just, the parasocial relationship is psychotic. Um but no, like, seriously, adults know when another person is vibing and feeling them. Okay. If I like a dude, you'll know I like you because I'm talking to you, and I'm not playing like hard to get. Like, you'll know I like you because I'm nice to you. I'm conversating with you. I'm not, "Oh boy, bye," or what. Like, I don't play hard to get. Like, if I like you, because that's how I am. I want somebody to be like straight up. I don't like games. So if you like me, you're gonna be straight up, right? That's how I am. All the games and the runaround stuff is not cute to me. Go play with another, like, go play with a little girl. Like, not a little girl, but like a young minded woman that thinks that stuff is cute, because we're not playing those games. So, like, if I like a person, it's direct. But usually when two people are interested, even kids that have crushes on each other, there's a connection. It's not, "Oh, I think they like me because," no. Sometimes people don't even like the kindness thing. I had to learn this too, like, over the years. A separation between when a man is being kind to you versus when he actually likes you. So a person being nice, like, sometimes if you've never been treated in kindness by a person or felt seen or noticed, every little gesture is gonna feel like, "Oh my God, I think we're alone now." Like a little teenage little 80s movie going on in your head that ain't happening in real life. It's fun, because you're escaping, but then when the reality hits, it's like, you know, um, But no, spiritual psychosis is like it can vary in many ways. Um Another personal situation, I'm not gonna say, but someone that is connected to uh, it's a personal relationship. Like the person that's going through it, I know them personally, but I don't know the person that's doing it to them, if that makes sense. So the person that's doing it to them was like going on Facebook saying this person kidnapped my kids and they're trafficking, and my parents is Janet Jackson and Tupac and stuff. It was like, what the, and she sits on Facebook all day, like if you look at like all the posts, statuses, it's like post after post, and like it's a scary motherfucking thought. It's like, and she ain't playing either. I know it's like kind of funny because I'm like, is she playing? But no. And she really believes this. And it's like it doesn't add up. And she was like, and they took my job and they was at a hotel in 1986, and it's like the person I know personally, he wasn't even born in 86, and either was she. So it's like, the fuck is you talking about? People be tripping. I'm telling you, I don't know. I do not know. Like, I feel bad for her, but yeah, no. Yeah. Sounds like she has a split personality disorder, schizophrenia, probably. Cause I'm like, you was watching Poetic Justice too much. Like, like, cause that didn't even happen, I don't know. Cause then I think about that girl that was saying Aaliyah and R. Kelly was her parents. I'm like, is she really believe this, or she was just trying to get some sort of clout? Cause it's just like, sis, like you don't look like none of these people, not even like none of their family members. So it's like, okay, like, no, it's just too much. I don't know. I just pray for the world. Cause yeah, I've been in limerence before. Like, child, I've been in limerence with a couple of ninjas out here in these streets. Like we didn't had that, when I was younger. Like, I always liked the unavailable men. Like when I was young, like in high school, like my first boyfriend was like, he was really demented, but I can't really use that as an example because he was my boyfriend. So it's not a good example. But yeah, mm-mm. Girl, the time I thought this ninja in Paris was my twin flame and stuff, like, but he was feeding into it. But like, it's like common sense. It's like, like, stop. Not everything is meant to be. Not everything is a sign. And he probably was like liking the attention, but he probably was like, you know what, bitch, you doing too much. Like, you know, I gotta exit stage left. But yeah, no, no, it's possible. It's very possible that you can create this limerence. But I think there's a difference between limerence and like really being completely delusional. Like, it goes beyond that, you know? So I'm gonna start using that. Janet Jackson and Tupac is my parents. They my parents, child. Tupac wasn't even famous when I was born, so there's that. I'm saying my age. I'm telling my age. Janet Jackson was just getting popping, she was just she was just out there rhythm nation it. Like, I didn't even have time to be in the in the womb yet. Like, I just be thinking, like, what do people be getting this crazy shit from? I know. We all been there. Yeah, I'm sure we all have. And it's really just like a disassociation with yourself. Like, you want to fixate on something outside of yourself because it gives you comfort, you know? Um it exposes the lack of emotional maturity sometimes. It also exposes the lack of emotional like openness that you have. Like, you're not ready for a real relationship. It's like emotional avoidance. It's commitment issues too, kind of, in a sense. Like, if all you're attracted to is unavailable men or women or people that you can't have, or like the circumstances, like, you find yourself in that, it's something subconsciously in you that either feels like you deserve this painful experience and love of chasing or someone rejecting you, or it's a conscious thing that you feel like you're not worthy of real love, so you settle for something that you already expect not to happen or go well or most likely will never happen. um It's a difference if two people is vibing. Like that's the difference. Like if two people are vibing and connecting and there's the challenges, that's a whole nother topic. But if it's like it's all one sided and it's all you and you gotta like dig for something to make it reality for you. Oh, he opened the door for me and he smiled. And that's like you're just fixated on that. Or, she accidentally grazed my hand, when she walked past me. Oh, that she must like no. Oh, she said she like guys with tattoos. Just fish. We just trying to fish for anything to make it something. You know. Yeah. No. I'll be the first to tell y'all. Like, no. Again, I don't do that hard. I don't do that. If I like you, I like you, motherfucker. Y'all gon' know if I like you. If I don't like you, you'll know. I don't fuck with you. I don't engage with people I don't like. I stay away from things I don't like. That's just the thing. If I'm not attracted to you, I don't play with men. I'm not a flirt. I'm not the best flirt. I suck at that. I'll just admit that. I suck at flirting. So you'll know, motherfucker. I don't, if I'm not engaging with you, talking with you, and sometimes like I'm really just being friendly, but there's a different, like, it's a different type of energy. Like if I like you, I'm going to engage a little bit more and be more personal. But if it's just like, social interaction, I'm gonna treat you like everybody else around. But if I don't fuck with you, we're not engaging at all. I'm cool, I'm kind, up until the point where people are like assholes to me, then that's where it ends. But like if we're all in a social situation, I'm gonna treat you kind like everybody else. If I like you, motherfucker, you gonna know I like you. I'm not playing games with you. I'm not gonna be like, whatever. No, I'm not doing all that shit. Like, we're not doing that. Not it's 12 o'clock here. Y'all, come get your girl. Please get me off of here. Let's end this live, y'all. Let me get my ass off of here. I need to get me something to drink. I need me a little sip before so I can relax. I got some new vinyls. I'm about to play my vinyls. I've been on my vinyl kick. I have a collection of vinyls. I have so many records that it's I love it. I love it so much. And I have my cute little record player, my little pink record. So this weekend, I'm gonna try to rest a little bit and then, kind of maneuver between responsibilities. But I want to relax before I go back to work. And I'm gonna listen to my vinyls and have my little sippy sip. But I hope you guys enjoyed this live. It was a very interesting one. Spirit, you never disappoint. I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate the real time triggers because it happens. And at this point, I'm just used to it. It's just like, like what it's almost at this point, it's just like it's a comedy show. Like, all right, that's what we doing. That's what we doing. So let's go ahead and close it out. I appreciate you guys so much. It was a pleasure for coming on. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me this late because I know where you guys are. It's probably like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Some of you guys are probably watching it the next day, or I don't know how far back, but it is late where I am. So I know it's late where y'all are. I didn't expect to be on here this long. I got on at what, like 9:30 ish? It's 12:16. It's 2 a.m. where you are, sis. Oh my God. Tawanda said it's 2:15. Tori, it's 2 a.m. Yeah. Okay. I appreciate y'all. Much love as always. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends. Make sure y'all empower yourselves. Keep up your spiritual hygiene as always. And follow up and let me know if this resonated with y'all, like this was helpful, or, your spiritual practices that worked for you. So much love. May y'all fairy dust stay popping. And I'll see you guys back next week for Ghetto Fairy Friday. Peace.